Hey guys, I'm just here to read my senior speech because a lot of my friends were in that English class on Friday afternoon and I read it, but a lot of them weren't. A lot of them couldn't be because they live miles away or because I haven't seen them in a while, and a lot of my family fall into that same category. So I thought that I'd read it on here and then I could have a chance to share some of the same feelings I shared with my English class to all of you. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up on my computer and then start to read. So thanks for watching. I have a few words to share with you today. Nitwit, oddment, blubber, tweak. Well, maybe a few more. Growing up, I always pictured myself as the heroine of one epic or another, whichever my bookshelf had most recently surrendered to my ravenous literary appetite. One week, I was Lucy Pevensey. The next, Hermione Granger. The next, Meg O'Keefe. Line after line, page after page, I soaked up the magic and adventure that defined their lives, catapulting them onto another plane of existence entirely, somewhere above the mundane, everyday world to which my own life seemed restricted. I understood these stories as fiction, but somewhere beneath that part of me, restricted by reason and logic, there was a dreamer who wanted nothing more than a grand purpose of her own, something to make her own story one worth reading. I wasn't unhappy exactly, but I simply went through the motions, seeing it only as backstory for the journey I was sure awaited me around the next corner, the next months, the next year. As I grew older, that dreamer faded with my childhood, retreating further back inside a stalwart, impenetrable fortress of rationality. Eventually, she wasn't much more than a feeble, dissenting voice, drowned out by the reason that accompanies the maturity of adulthood. But she still lurked in the shadows, coloring the way I saw my life. Everything seemed unsatisfactory in her eyes, too gray, too meaningless, too unimportant. I wandered aimlessly through school, smiling on cue, playing my part, still waiting for some realization of the person I was supposed to be, and the magnificent life I was supposed to live. Through my haze, high school seemed like a story already written, filled with stock characters and predictable plot lines, with no room for a misfit like me. Each time I walked to my classes, biting my lip and letting my insecurity reign over my own pursuit of happiness, I pushed back my tears with the thought that, someday, I would find a place to truly belong. It was, ironically, all that kept me going, and simultaneously all that held me back. To be honest, I couldn't nail down one moment, one shattering epiphany that definitively and permanently changed my life and changed my outlook. That would be too easy, too simple, too much like the oversimplified black and white world I'd already outgrown. Maybe the first spark of accepting my own life came last year, when I first embraced the cathartic escape that writing could give me, or when volunteering for causes bigger than my own small storyline gave me a taste of the ways our society has really changed for the better. Maybe it began when I started making the effort to smile and interact with people I'd arrogantly thought could never understand me, and, to my surprise, found genuine, kind, and multifaceted individuals whose honesty and compassion have made me a better person. However I came to this realization, when I was finally truthful with myself, I saw that I had been hiding behind my fantasies to avoid facing my own fears. By allowing myself to believe that, one day, I would be whisked away into some other life, I missed out on years of living the life I'd been given. Once I recognized this self-deception, it was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing the vibrant tones behind a curtain of dull gray. Once I knew what to look for, every day became its own quest, although not quite like those I'd expected. Every experience of life, from the heart-pounding anxiety of an upcoming exam, to the euphoric delights of hard-won success, to the comfortable banter with a friend proven steadfast in good times and bad, is just another line in a tale that, taken as a whole, will define the stories the world tells of us. Cliché though it may sound, on June 13th, the day after my high school graduation, a page will turn, and, pens poised over the first line, a new chapter in our lives will begin. I have no profound insight to give, no advice except this. No matter what people tell us about the rough world we go out to face, no matter how powerless we may feel during our lowest moments, we are the authors of our own lives. We choose which characters populate their pages and which fade into the backdrop of our past, which choices pivot the plot from one sequence to the next. By pretending that the world is already written and that we can contribute nothing further, we rob ourselves of our own agency and authority to define how history remembers us and our generation. So, as the remaining days of this journey expire, and the first of the next one peek over the horizon, we should remember, no matter how tempting it may seem, never to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Thank you for watching, and most of all, if you're tagged, or even if you aren't, if you know you're a part of my life, thank you for being there for me when I needed you, for listening to my crazy messed up rants or my issues, or just laughing with me about silly random things. Every one of you has made a difference in my life, whether or not you know it. So I just hope that I've expressed that in some way to give back all you've given to me. So thank you. And some of you I'll see you in school, some of you I will hope to see you soon, some of you I hope to see at my graduation party, and others of you, even if I don't see, I know will still be there for me, which is something I am unendingly grateful for.